Hey YouTube, this is City Prepping. In this video, I just want to take a few moments. I don't have any points to make. I just want to remember September 11th. Just want to take a moment to thank those that served, and I'll just end up the video sharing some of my own memories from that day. Again, this is going to be kind of a quick video. I don't have any points to make. There's no survival tips I'm giving, anything like that. I just, again, want to start off by saying thank you to those that served on September 11th. I don't know personally any first responders that went into the situation into downtown on September 11th or shortly thereafter. I know some people that were working downtown when the event occurred, but I don't personally know anybody that went in. And so if you're watching this and that was you, I just want to say thank you. Thank you so much. That day, despite all the horrible things that happened, I think the only positive that I can really remember of that day is to see Americans really rise up in that moment and to run into a situation versus running away from it. And people that knew going into the situation how risky it was. Obviously, with the towers on fire, there was a lot of firefighters that went into the buildings that never returned. And seeing so many people going in, not having any protective gear or masks, but just wanting to give and to help. And I just want to say thank you so much from the bottom of my heart for those that are watching. Thank you. For me, my own memories of that day, I was 25 years old. I was living in Los Angeles at the time, and I was going to a school. I just graduated a few years prior from the University of Texas, and I was going to a graduate school to train for campus ministry. I was going to occupational ministry at the time. I ended up meeting my wife there. It was a 6-month program, or my future wife. And I was there at the school, and I lived in an apartment with 3 other guys, and we didn't have cable TV. And I remember it was a Tuesday morning. I was asleep, and one of the roommates came in. It was a guy from Kyrgyzstan, and Nergazi. He came into my room, and I remember him saying, "Champ, your country's under attack." And I had no context or clue, obviously. He just woke me up. So we ran over next door to some friends of ours. They had a cable TV. And remember turning on the news. And I remember, the first thing seeing is the 2 towers were on fire, and they were, playing clips, trying to figure out what was going on. There's a lot of chaos, a lot of confusion. These 2 planes had just flown into the 2 towers. And it was obviously, by that point, it was a deliberate action. And when I came in, the 2 towers were still up. And I don't remember the exact time frame. Again, a lot of things are kind of blurry, but I do remember specifically watching that first tower collapse on itself. And I don't know. I mean, for those that have had something traumatic happen in their life and experience, you remember, it's kind of like one of those things that gets like branded in your mind. And that was, for me, I'll never forget watching that happen, because, I mean, how is that even possible, watching this massive building collapse on itself? And I remember, just the trauma. I don't know. I hate to use the word trauma. I mean, I wasn't there, but just how much of an imprint that had on me. I grew up in a relatively peaceful time in the 80s, apart from our conflict with the Soviet Union. My parents' generation, they had to deal with Vietnam. I didn't really ever see any major conflicts. I mean, the first Gulf War was a skirmish at best. But seeing our own country attacked like that, just can't forget. It was just I'll never forget. My grandfather, I remember him telling me stories about Pearl Harbor. My mom's dad, he was in the Marines when that happened in December. He was actually in Pearl Harbor a few weeks before the event occurred. He had some pictures, but he wasn't there when it happened. But yet, his experience, his memories, and how much that impacted his life. And I think for my generation, I thought at least that would be the main moment that would define our generation, seeing something like that. Obviously, the things that we're going through right now are very challenging, but that event, despite all the horrible events of that day, as I alluded to and mentioned at the beginning of the video, the one positive was to see how people came together to rise to the moment. Even in the weeks and the months following, to see America come together. You didn't hear about the differences, the hatreds, the political differences, all the things. It was gone in that moment. All we cared about is each other. And that was my memory. Despite all the horrible things, I remember a lot of the positive afterwards. And again, at this video, I just really wanted to share and again, thank those that serve. I don't have any points to make. I'd be interested to hear your thoughts, your memories, if you want to post those in the comment section below. It's kind of a day for me of just thinking and reflecting and remembering. I love this country. I mean, I know we've got problems, but man, I love this country so much. And despite the challenges of what I see us going toward in the future, even everything that was happening back then, I was still so optimistic, and I am still of the future. But I realize we have a lot of challenges and hurdles. Not that I would want to ever see anything happen to our country like that again to bring us together, but there's times when I wonder what is going to bring us together. I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of divisions, so much deep-rooted hate right now. But in that moment, I can always look back and remember, again, despite the worst of what I saw, at least in my life at that time, I got to see some of the best of America, and I'll never forget that. Stay safe out there.